Alright, so it's been 2 weeks since our last session, so let's try and get an accurate recap. But I believe we started the session inside the fire vault. Everyone was resting, except obviously Neros, who was with the Archmage Adawan, learning how to be an Archmage. And then we began with Chester in the afterlife, when we did a bit of a montage of him becoming a truth speaker, if there's such a thing of Chester. The deceptive speaker, whatever. But in the end, he spent maybe a year in the time in the other plane until he was resurrected by you guys. Once he was back, him and Maisie reconciled and chatted. The rest of you decided that you would head back to Mokhul. However, you reached back to Mokhul and realised that the Polynexian Navy that you'd been waiting for had finally turned up. On the way back into the city, you saw down by the Bay of Spears that Macro had slain like nearly 500 of them as they tried to land on the beach, and was walking around systematically executing these soldiers until Elzef actually managed to save one. Well, save, but kind of like interrogate and send him back to his war chief and tell him that you guys want a meeting. Chief, his name is Yalway. Said meeting did occur while he, in his ship, rowed up to meet your ship. Orwin noticed something on his flesh, like a tattoo or like a magical, invisible, runic symbol, and as it flashed, it sent Orwin into a catatonic state. A conversation ensued where Laneros, ever the diplomat, attempted to break your way out of his way of thinking, trying to attempt to stop him from continuing what he wanted, to commit to this great dreaming, and he explains that it was the only way for his people not to be moved. But you managed to persuade him to do a one-on-one duel with Makra, seeing as he seemed to respect Makra. The terms of this duel were that if Makra won, he would leave the machine here and he would turn around and just go. If he won, he could have the machine and he had to leave. He accepted these terms. It seemed that the only thing he was interested in was the machine that the God King had built for him. So, when you guys parted, Chester, for some reason, attempted to find the treasury, which is non-existent, and failed. And I think Laneros and Orwin managed to use their intelligence and their spells to summon forth like 50k's worth of diamonds or something, using the wish spell. And we ended the session in the evening, just as everyone was settling down for the night's rest, because at sunrise, Makra's duel is about to begin. So I'll hand the stage over to you guys in that evening, the day before the duel. Makra has been told, and if I remember correctly, he was like, well, I'm going to go get drunk then. And he walked off into Shidell to begin guzzling booze.
Of course, a very important thing to mention is that we also sabotaged the machine during this waiting period to ensure that wouldn't quite work the way that he'd wanted to, but he probably wouldn't find out until after installing it back in the place where he wanted it to be.
Yeah, you figured out that it's got a teleportation circle beneath, moves the machine, and your artificer Elzef decided to just start hitting hammer and chisel to certain parts to send fractures throughout the machine, so that when it did draw upon the weave to activate, that wouldn't go as planned. You're not sure what's going to happen, but you know that the machine should be faulty in some way.
Yep.
Yeah. So the sun begins to set in the west. New Neria just begins to darken. You see fires begin lighting up along the city. Most of the city is like in the east is all fallen, and there's still debris around. Most people are living on the streets or in ruins of what they can, and you just see glittering fires all across the city. I think most of you went back to the Seaport Market, to the new tower that Orwin had fashioned
Yep. One question about the the occupants of the ship. Were there any clear magic users with them, or was it mostly
Yeah,
destroyer?
I did mention they had sort of what looked like shamans or druids with them. You know, they were wearing like bone totems, and they had like these leather scaled kilts on. You did notice one, like some of them had staves, some of them had large wooden tower shields with clubs, some of them had great swords with obsidian shards weaved into the blades to rip and tear when they attack. They seem to be just like your civilization, a collective group of different professions. Seems that theirs is the same, just on a different just different layer, basically.
Okay. One thing for sure that I want to do in the evening is I will go back to the machine.
Mm-hmm.
How large is it?
It's probably from for the largest point, from one point to the other, and the longest point. 'Cause remember, it seems to be very erratic.
Yeah.
It's about 30 feet. It weighs well on, like, maybe 3,000, 4,000 pounds. It's huge.
Weight is fine for me. What I want to do is I want to use 2 6-level spell slots to cast. Well, first of all, I will scribe Major Image from the spellbook that I have during the hours of rest. And then once I've done that, I will use 2 6-level spell slots to cast Major Image level 6, covering the whole device, creating its own form, basically, but without the cracks in it.
Well, like the permanent form of Major Image.
Yeah, so it lasts until the spell without requiring my concentration, so I can just put it there, and I don't know if it's going to teleport with it, I guess not, but I don't really care about that. I just want it to look good until it's been teleported.
What's your spell save DC, just so I know in the future?
23.
Okay, so that would be like the DC to investigate on, take a good look at it to notice that it's an illusion. Or there is an illusion over it. If they decide to look.
Well, that it is an illusion, which I want to make it so that it's the illusion is perfectly overlaid over the physical thing, right? So the only thing that's different is that it's not messed up.
Yeah, I understand what you're trying to do, of course, but if it comes down to it and he's like, oh, I'm going to investigate this, make sure it's the thing I want, that's the DC it'll be. Okay, so yeah, you go back to the Moonlit Shield, you go back into the God King's lair, and you begin this process of layering this image over the machine to make it look. Because you notice with your investigation, it's not hard to notice that there's fractures here, there's fractures there, etc., etc. But with your illusion, it does hide that. What about everyone else?
I'll sift it apart.
This is probably with Necra, just giving him a pep talk, giving him some inspiration, as it were. If he comes at you sideways, hit him in the nuts. That's the best effect. And if he doesn't have nuts, which is quite possible, I didn't get a good look, go for the soft, fleshy underside of his butthole.
Was he wearing a loincloth, Liam?
He was. He was wearing the girdle of God's strength, and then he had that.
We do know if he has balls or not.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave it there.
Okay.
He definitely looked male. I'll put it that way.
Okay. No ambiguity there.
So you spend the evening in Shydell, Chester, with the people there. And what you notice
Trying
is...
to inspire Macra.
Yeah, what you notice is a lot of people in Shydell now see him as a sort of leader. He's been back for 2 days and seems to have settled in. Shydell took the brunt from the Blue Elder weapon when it started destroying the city, and you notice there's only probably about 100 people left here, and they have a mass grave site in the western part of Shydell. It's this huge construction of fires all burnt down to nothingness, and there's piles of ash everywhere.
They should have really tried not to be poor.
Rather derelict place, this. Perhaps you could do a little TLC. I can personally attest to the fact that there are not many coppers left for the city. That may be a good entreaty to our new leadership. Or I happen to know that the Neros himself makes quite a good diamond.
Well, you know, Shardell took the brunt, right? Just first when the Bretonians landed, then when that big fucking thing landed. So,
right you are, right you are. But you know, a little spruce here and there, maintenance, as it were. No reason why you can't stack the old house of cards back up.
It's a testament to their strength that they haven't even gone yet. They got another army on the horizon, still here.
Such a pessimist. But anyway, it's about to get cut short once your epic victory tomorrow reaches the ears of that army. Well, I will take a hit. I won't wager.
Yeah, he lifts his jug up. Ale and beer goes everywhere, and he goes, "Yeah, victory!" And everyone around him cheers.
You know, I might even write a little memoir about the event itself. Makrah's triumph of the giant. And of course, I would paint you in a very good light. And myself.
No, you wouldn't. Yeah, I know what you're like. I read what you did to Gwendef.
You can read, good sir.
Yeah, well, I don't like to, but I can. Slowly.
Right you are. I can promise you you'll be the central character. I may even throw in a love interest or two, spice things up. Readers are into romance these days. It's the fashionable genre.
Yeah? What?
Yes. Perhaps in the middle of your fight, you gaze into each other's eyes and continue rolling around in the sand.
No, wait,
until...
no, you stop there.
Right you are. Perhaps a bit too liberal.
Yeah, I thought you meant that I'd have like a swooning damsel. Not that I was going to get down and go bear piggyback with him in the arena.
Well, I'd cut you into the sails, good sir. Have a think. Your people are behind you, and I shall be too. I shall be offering you words of assistance from the sidelines.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Very well. I will leave you to your reveries. Good day, good people of Shiredale. Good to see your homes are intact and good.
Alright, so that was your evening spent in Shiredale. Olwyn, is there anything in particular you're doing?
No, in particular. There doesn't seem like there's much left for me to do, to be honest. Yeah, no, I don't think so. Is this is happening today, or is it tomorrow?
The draw is happening in about 11 hours. It's the evening, and it's happening at sunrise.
Right, okay. So, yeah, then prior to sleeping, all I'll do is... God, what did we need to do? What were we using our 9th level spell slots for, aren't they?
Wishing for diamonds.
Wishing for diamonds.
You were doing it on your simulacrum.
The economy is in shambles.
Because we don't want to use our 9th level wish for that, because that hurts.
Mm-hmm.
So we're using... simulacrum.
Yeah, and I think you've already done that for today.
Yeah, we did.
Then all is good.
Alright, so is that just everyone's gonna settle in for the night and get a long rest?
Yeah, I don't think I have much time. I have things to do, but I don't think I have much time since I'm scribing my dreamers as well, so...
Well, yeah, you only need to trance for 4 hours. So...
Yeah, so I'd have some time afterwards in the morning.
Yeah, if you wanted to actually scribe some more spells.
No, not at the moment. I think, he'll just sit and ponder a little bit on what the next steps are going to be for Mokhul. Because he doesn't really know what to do with the city. Like, he's also declared kind of a state of emergency, but he doesn't want to stay responsible. But there's no one decent blast off to, so he's just going to think on what to do about it.
Yeah, it's very difficult because Mokhul, before it became Mokhul, the Mokhul Empire, was a collection of small towns on the coast, different tribes.
Yeah, exactly. So,
and now that they've been forced into a state of emergency, they've kind of forced back into their tribal ways. Like the Indulai Valley now belongs to the rich and the farmers and the people who own land, and it's got Shai Dale have flocked and they're just staying together, and all the people in the west and their small towns are now just sticking together.
Yeah, they didn't seem to catch the idea of the power loves a vacuum. They were just like, power? Nah, and just left.
Yeah.
So.
A good portion of the city is gone as well. Population is halved at least.
Yeah, well, I'm sure they'll not stay little towns for very long, but for now, that's fine. Deal with it when I can.
Okay, and as the morning begins to come and you're all up and early, I'm assuming before sunrise, so that you can get down to the Bay of Spears.
Yeah, we should at least do him the decency of watching him die.
So the party meets up that morning. I'm assuming Chester and Maisie would have stayed in their house in the Indulai Valley, and the rest of you in either the tower or a tavern, and you wake up in the morning when it's still dark, and the news of the duel has spread from Shiadel to about a good about half of the city. So there is a bit of a commotion going on down by the Bay of Spears. You can see torchlight, and a bit of a commotion. Let me know if there's anything that you guys need to do before I get on with this scene.
Negative.
Being rested, not for me.
Yeah, so you can all click a long rest and stuff.
I don't think I used anything, but I will click it anyway.
So,
Oh, I don't think there's anything.
So the party gathers, Bay of Spears. What you do see as you approach is that someone has laid out a ring of torches to denote the fighting area, about 30 foot in diameter, and all of the torches are lit. And you see Makra groggily stand from one bench, and he's talking to what looks like a bunch of citizens of Shiadel. People are basically force feeding him horns of water, and he kind of like shakes like the hangover from his face, shoves what looks like a bucket of seawater over his head, and he's like basically rearing himself up. He's like kind of like growling and stuff like that to like get himself up. And a couple of the nearby citizens are cheering him on, including a couple of half orcs. He's sparring. Does anyone want to talk to Makra?
I'll give him a little word of inspiration, just whisper in his ear. Remember the nuts, good sir. Straight for them.
Okay.
Makra, of all the people in our little group, you are the one I dislike the least after Chester. But only because you're a bugbear.
Thanks. Yeah, you ain't too bad either.
Okay, that's enough of a moment. And Elsa leaves.
Okay.
You also see, by the way, that as Daenerys wakes up this morning, he's been like in summer mode for quite some time with like red hair and bright complexion and stuff, and he's reverted to winter now.
Okay.
And doesn't
I shall make any necessary arrangements in the unlikely event of something going awry here today to financially assist with my earnings and fame and wealth from your children. So they will be taken care of.
Wait. Before you guys go. It's been a pleasure and stuff. You know, if I go down, I reckon I will. But if I do, bit of pleasure and stuff. He like scratches the back of his neck awkwardly, like as if he doesn't know what to say. Yeah. Anyway, I'll see you on the other side. Yeah.
That we can be certain, good sir.
You have my complete trust. You will win this.
Yeah.
And Elsef leaves to try to find someone to bet against Macro.
No one is betting. There are no people around here taking bets.
That's shit.
What you do see is the people have kind of gathered to watch on the cliffside, on the market district overlooking. And then you've got like the people from Scheidel and their like makeshift walls watching.
That's the fun in a fight if you can't bet.
Alright, one more time. Is there anything else for anyone?
I mean, buffing him would be unfair, so no.
Alright, so before we continue, I want to preface this. I am sorry, Curtis.
Yeah, it is really sad for you, Curtis, that this is going to go down this way, because it's really no fun defeating your opponents in 2 rounds, so we're sorry to deprive you of an interesting combat.
Yeah. Please remember when you describe the combat that Macro has to pointlessly grapple him at some point and switch his weapons out for a worse one.
I'm trying to do it narratively. Well, if you want me to continue, I will.
Please do, good sir.
Okay.
Please do.
So, as I've explained, a ring of torches denotes the fighting area. Macro, at this point, stands on one side, his back to Scheidel and its peoples. There is a silence gathering as the procession of you begins to watch Yahweh and his people slide into the Bay of Spears and hit the pebble, shale and sand beach there. And as they disembark, they begin to sing a throaty ballad in tongues that you cannot understand. The Polynexian warriors snake their way up to the fighting circle and then part their wooden shields. Yahweh enters through that parting into the circle and shrugs free the whale skin sort of cloak he was wearing. It like kind of slumps to the sand. A servant rushes to retrieve it, and you see that his warriors begin to clash their clubs against their shields, making a racket. The sunrise can just be seen peeking above the horizon in the east. Macross spits to the ground in front of him. Yahweh smiles. You can see this big pearly white smile like I explained last time. He seems very confident. And he says out loud, "This seems to be a great occasion, warrior of Mokhul." Macro doesn't respond. He responds by stabbing Gungnir into the ground next to him and lifts the thunderblock onto his shoulders. "Weapons?" Yahweh shakes his head side to side. "Rules are for children. This is war. And in war, the only crime is to lose." "Hey up," Macro says. "I hear you are this place's hero, Macro." Yahweh indicates Scheidel, and then with a grand sweep of his hand, gestures the city beyond. "In your place, I would be no hero. I would have been king by now. This is great sadness." Macro scoffs. "Hero? Fuck that. That's what folk call you when the word murderer begins to fall short, you know?" Yahweh continues to smile, and it's plain to see he likes Macro. He's got like a giggle. He says, "Then when you are ready, warrior son of Mokhul." And that Macro wastes no time. He leaps forward, the thunderblock held high above him, and you see that the actual haft of the weapon crackles and emits blue light as he swings it in a wide arc. Yahweh steps to the side, but it catches him on the arm. He sprawls, flounders from the strength of the attack and rolls, comes to a stand, legs bent, arms up for defense. He sports a pair of gauntlets you can all see. His tattoos suddenly become vivid and yellow. The swirls and eddies painted on his skin look as if they are moving. Alwyn, in particular, can see this. The invisible, kind of writhing tentacles that are his tattoos. But his smile has not yet faded. Macro is not yet done. He follows the attack with a backswing, and Yahweh ducks, weaves to the side, and plants a punch into his ribs. He gasps. This is Macro. Macro gasps, but before he can recover, Yahweh finds Macro's jaw with his fist and knocks him to one knee. Yolwei pushes his upper hand and plants his knee into Makrar's face. There is a very loud snap in sound. He twists and he flies from the blow, but as he hits the Polynexian shield from behind, they all just shove him back in. They shout something inaudible, and a cheer goes up among them. However, a cry goes up from Shidel behind you all, and you can then hear Makrar's name being called on the wind. Mak-Ra! 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 Cheering him on. Makrar stands, wipes the blood from his face. He holds the thunderblock up, and there is a huge bang. Lightning smashes to the beach, smothers him. He points the weapon towards Yolwei, and a blast of purple-blue lightning arcs across the space between them, setting the sand to a spiraling trail of crystals. The magical assault smashes into Yolwei. Dust and shattered shell explode outward. Most of you have to guard your eyes, hold your hands up, and when the sand clears, Yolwei is on one knee, and he is not smiling anymore. That chain lightning pissed him off. Makrar wanders to one side of the circle, passes by Yolwei, and hefts Gungnir from its earthen sheath. He moves quickly to do the deed, and goes to shove the spear through Yolwei's back. There is a flash of golden yellow. Alwyn, immediately your eyes hurt. That same feeling you got when you met him on the beach. On the boat out to sea. But you are far enough away now that it doesn't affect you, but it affects Makrar. You can see him. He misses his thrust with the spear. He falls. He's staggers. Tries to climb to his feet, and you can all see he looks dizzy. He looks bewildered, and he looks stunned. And he falls beside Yolwei. Close. And the big Polynexian says as he stands. Static snaps up and down his body from the chain lightning. He waits a long moment for it to finish, and then he kicks away Gungnir, away from Makrar. Makrar begins to move. He begins to stir, but it's much too late for that. Yolwei stamps on his back. There's a crack. He punches him once, twice, 3 times into the back of the head. Pummels his head into the beach, almost. He then picks him up by the ankle and begins to drag him to the centre of the circle. See this? Yolwei bellows as he postures about the circle. This man here killed centuries of my men. He is a warrior. He should be your king. But you see how I bring him so low? Now. And he twists Makrar around, like just flings him around. Now bow before me, warrior, and I will let you live. Makrar begins to stand, like, he's shaky on his legs. He's been punched to shit, and he spits blood into his face. And he just says, go fuck yourself. And then great spikes of crystal erupt around Yolwei, where you've seen this before. It's Makrar's crystal spiral attack. It just bursts forth, comes from the sand beneath him, and you just see like a dozen of these javelins of crystal pierce through Yolwei, basically knocking him up into the air. Comes through an awkward angle, one nearly scrapes across his face, and then Makrar charges forward, raging finally, and clashes into him. They go down in a tangle of flailing limbs. This is when Makrar tries to grapple him. And they exchange punches, kicks, bites. They roll away from one another, growling, thrashing, and they climb to their feet, both of them. It is then that, with passive perceptions of Chester and Elsif, that you see something very strange. A small yellow symbol glows in the air, almost imperceptible, between the two fighters. It's very small and almost ethereal. And then there are words that are too quiet to hear, that are traded between the two warriors. And there's a silence, and Makrar just stands up straight, and his ears are pricked, as if he's listening. Alwyn can see Yolwei's tattoos writhe and twist and turn upon his skin. They're all like moving up to his neck. And Makrar just goes, fucking hell. He turns to you, and he just like clocks eyes with you guys as a group, one by one. He goes, you better have a fucking plan. Alright? Don't let her die. And then something strange happens. Makrar kind of like staggers to the side. He uses one hand to hold himself up. But, he can't. And as he falls to his knees, you see his one good eye rolls up into the back of his skull. Blood begins to form rivulets from his nose and his ears. His eyes, one eye seems to, stutter, move around. And then he just rolls onto his side. And then Alwyn notices Yolwei's tattoos stop their wriggling. They stop their magical sort of power that they have. The clatter of club on shield falls silent, and so does the rest of the cheering from the city. And in the east, the sun has finally risen. Leave it there as everyone just stares into the arena. Makra laying on his side, Yalway panting. He just kind of walks up to Makra, places one thick finger on his pulse, and stands up, over to his men. Shields pop.
Oh. What now?
I thought he'd last longer.
You take him? I mean, that's not good.
Yeah, like the members of Shidell begin pressing towards the arena. Like,
I guess I should be getting in there and revivifying him, yeah?
I mean,
Probably be a good idea.
it's probably the least we can do. Shit.
Well, this wasn't my... Don't be like the least I could do. Shit, this wasn't my idea. And Elsa, like, struts forward, just shoves whoever is in her way away, and gets out the defibrillator. I shouldn't have given it the name I can't pronounce.
alright, yeah, so you walk up.
I assume there's some shenanigans and he can't be revived.
Yeah, he doesn't have a soul anymore.
Well, I gave that my best shot.
Well, to be fair, I also thought he had half a soul. Like, you don't really need one. It's not a requirement.
He just returns to life as a zombie.
Elsa is a lot of things, but she's not a necromancer.
There was definitely something going on, like, Elzef and Chester saw it.
I do have a pass perception of 23 as well.
I checked your character sheet and you had 18.
No, it's 23.
Well, then you would have noticed as well. It says +8 in your perception, I just assumed.
Yeah, because I have one thing that gives me +5 on my passive, so...
I didn't know that. But yeah, you would have noticed that then as well, for sure.
That's why it says 23 between brackets, which is the passive score.
Ah, okay. Yeah, well...
But yeah, that's fine. I mean, I wasn't going to intervene, so...
Wait, there was some real fucking skullduggery going on there. You catch that?
Mm-hmm. As expected.
Didn't really see a lot other than his tattoos doing the thing that's kind of similar to when it knocked me out.
This just confirms that they're not looking out for themselves. They're not trying to achieve something good. They're just trying to subjugate everyone by whatever means possible, and they're all corrupted beyond redemption.
Seems that could be the way of it. So, it's the plan to hand over the machine then?
I mean, that's what we negotiated, right?
We've got contingencies in place.
Would have let poor Makra die for nothing if we were like, no, we're gonna fight.
Yeah, eventually, a few minutes later, Yalway does come back, like, from his group of men. He enters the area from circle from one side, and you can see that he's getting what looks like so many stares from the citizens of Shidell. Like, you can see people holding daggers in their hands, and then he turns to you, being that you are the authority that he spoke to before. I do not know what is happening, but your people better not break our deal.
No plans.
Let's be clear about something. I do not control these people, but I will honor the deal that was made. You know very well, as a tribal leader, that unrest may follow such an event. You shouldn't be surprised by it, and if you are, as you said, their king. If you would have had the chance, then I'm sure you'll have no problem dealing with a few unruly citizens.
Oh, I have no problem in putting down unrest. I have quelled many rebellions. But you should have control of your people. Show me to my machine, if you would.
Please come with me.
Well.
These guys have stuff to discuss. You guys discuss stuff. I'll bring him over.
Alright, so about
I'll join as well, regardless of what.
24 or so warriors do join him, by the way. Guard.
Mm-hmm.
Begin walking towards the back of Shidale where the stairs lead up to the market district. I'm assuming you're leading him that way?
Yeah, do you want to go directly to the machine, sir, or do you want to use this once-in-a-lifetime chance to see Mokhul City?
Take me to my machine.
Please. How about you head back to those now handle this?
I think he's okay. I think he likes me more than he does you.
I think he would like to see that we honor the deal that we made with him. That's what I intend to do, not distract him with sightseeing. If he wishes to see the city, he can do so afterward.
I hope he damn well leaves once he has the machine, but sure, be my guest. I'll be at the spa.
See, and that's why you shouldn't be in charge of these kind of negotiations.
Well, if it was up to me, this negotiation wouldn't have never happened.
Exactly.
Elsif goes to the spa.
Yeah, the spa got destroyed.
Is there no other spa? It's a fucking city.
Yeah, most of them got destroyed. I'm going. Spas aren't exactly on the #1 priority at the moment after the city was destroyed twice.
Horrible. I hate the city.
Well,
that's why you shouldn't be.
Elsif goes check if the fucking Noel's house got destroyed.
Nope, standing straight.
Well, she goes there anyway, right?
Yeah, they're not in. It looks like they've abandoned the house.
I could take the house, but there's no point. But yeah, Elsif going over there should take some time anyway.
You actually go into the Knowles house.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
He checks just out of spite.
Nice. Alright, so as you reach there, we'll deal with the going on in a second, but they've got a really nice house. They've got very pristine and clean in there. And they've got paintings of their family above the mantelpiece. This is quite homey. They got toys are neatly packed away in a toy box. As you walk in, it smells slightly of lavender. I'm so shocked. You thought there was going to be feces smeared on the walls and corpses in the basement. I can't take Adrian just staring at me. Alright, so you lead the Polynexians towards Moonlit Shield into the God King's lair. And he walks up to it, and the look of reverence in his eyes, Laneros, is just beyond anything you've seen. He falls to one knee, says a prayer, and then he just stands, walks over to the contraption beneath it, circle, and begins touching certain parts of the runes, and you see they light up yellow. Begins walking around, and you're looking. Are you looking closely to see if he notices any?
Yeah, not just him, but also the rest of the people. I was hoping with. So my intention was basically, as I was walking in there, I was going to be as serviceable as I possibly could to give him the feeling that he was winning, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that was the whole part of the ruse, that we're going to trick him by not interfering in the combat with Macra, by respecting the rules of that, and sending away Alzeth with being annoying, and just cooperating with him, basically. So hopefully he's not suspicious and he just wants to get his thing and go home.
It is by the way, Arne, it's quite difficult to understand you at the moment. I'm quite robotic.
Yeah, probably my what's happening is that my washing machine's on, so it's doing stuff with Mario in the meantime.
Yeah, okay, so yeah, he walks up to it and just begins activating the circle beneath it, as if he knows how to do it, like he's known all along. I'm assuming you're not stopping him.
No, unless I recognize something that's out of order. That doesn't seem like he's teleporting it. But if he's teleporting it, then that's fine.
Yeah, he goes to put the last code. So, do you dispel the illusion at that moment so it actually looks like... Because the illusion is going to go with it. When it teleports away, it will stay like just in where you left it. I don't think major image gets teleported with the object that you've laid it over, so...
No, because I can move it to within 120 feet, so yeah. At that point.
Sorry, what was that?
I will dispel it at that point, so that as he finishes it, it will also poof out of existence.
Yeah, okay, cool. Make an Arcana check for me.
I will use inspirations.
Okay. Yeah, perfect. He doesn't notice a thing. You just, with a flick of your index finger, just dispel both illusions at the same time. And as it just fades away in front of you, there is a whoosh and sound. The thing disappears, leaving an empty space where the machine once was. The pipes connected to it all kind of like bend and snap away with a metal screech. And he turns to you. It was good to do business here. You have saved many lives.
No, it's just like silently nods.
It is good that we did not come to war.
War is mostly pointless.
Well, I can get home then. And you can tell those pirates in the rear of my fleet disappear.
On your authority?
And he begins. Grildal's and his pirate fleet's been stalking this fucking fleet for a while now, just keeping an eye on him.
Mm-hmm.
So he does just leave.
Yep.
You let him go, he just leaves.
That's what I want him to do, so... Yeah.
And if no one wants to do anything, the fleet in front of you just vanishes by midday. Disappears on the horizon.
Nope, just happy to let them leave with...
Ooh, your passive perception. You did note that he had a ring on his middle finger, right hand, that wasn't there when you met him on the boat.
Okay. Describe this ring to me, please.
Gold band, purple gemstone. Very plain, like unadorned, except.
Anything I recognize?
I can't check. See if you. Very. You've seen rings like this before, specifically in the Court of the Fae, when debates are to happen and people are having important discussions. There are members of the upper echelons of the Feywild that will wear these rings to prevent their minds being read.
Ah, mind blank, okay.
Look like a ring of mind. You also know...
yeah, that's fair enough. Okay.
With 24 that when someone dies while wearing one of them, that their soul can be transferred to it. That may have been why Macro cannot be resurrected.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Noted. We could want Macro back. Get the ring and take his soul out.
Yeah, I did read the ring. The ring does say, though, if the person doesn't want to go into the ring, they don't have to. So Macro could have just fucked off. They can just go into the afterlife and be perma-dead. But
Yeah, maybe he still wants to look after his kids.
Yeah, he's got. I know that Curtis would have a reaction to want to be trapped in this ring and be telepathically annoying for the rest of it.
Also, that's very true. Yeah. All right. I'll head back to find Owen and Chester after this. So I'll head back to Shidell first because we didn't really agree on somewhere to go, and this shouldn't have taken long. Like maybe half an hour to an hour, I guess.
Yeah, no, it would have taken about an hour.
Yeah. So I'll head back to them and ask them. So they've left. It seems that he trapped Makra in a ring, and Makra agreed to be trapped because he could have chosen not to, and just left.
On Earth would he have chosen not to? Oh, sorry, why not would he have chosen such a fate?
You can ask him next time you see him. For now, we achieved what we wanted. They left. They took their device with them. It's damaged, and we'll see what happens when they try and activate it. For now, it's one less threat to deal with.
Smart rudimentary rules work. Sorry, good sir.
That's quite alright. I was just going to check that nothing untoward was going on. You didn't notice anything?
Nothing strange that I could see.
Good. What was he saying, Chester?
I'm just merely commenting on the fact that our rules seem to have slipped by him.
Indeed.
Surprising in its own self, but thankfully it worked.
Generally, if you give someone what they are really looking for and not expecting to get, they forget about the fact that it might seem too good to be true and just accept the fact that they're getting what they want. It's quite an effective strategy, usually.
You are. Of course. The piper will be paid, I do not doubt, and he may return.
To what extent? Once he discovers the machine is broken?
Maybe
so. It's not like we have another one.
Well, as you say, it comes down to emotion, does it not? Revenge is, as it were, something that I would not discount in this manner.
Perhaps, but we gave him what we promised we would give him. He might feel differently, but we gave him his machine.
But you are.
So where do we go from here then?
Well, the two of us will keep working on collecting the needed diamonds. In the meantime, if there's urgent matters, we should pick those up first, but... Well, someone needs to handle Shidell, and I'm sure that I'm not the kind of person they're looking for. Ideas? Chester?
None that make much sense. I would imagine it would be good to appoint from, well, our council's a little bit flimsy these days, is it not?
Oh, I meant you should go and placate them if you can.
Very well. I was afraid you'd say that. Let's keep it under wraps and I propose this little meeting with the minds, shall we?
If you're going to be doing this, it's your narrative. It's what you prefer, is it not?
Very well. Well, like pulls his trousers up. Once more into the breach. And he'll head back down to Shidell, I guess, upon Lineros' suggestion.
Yeah, okay, and what are you doing?
Probably speaking with inhabitants, feeling the vibe, working out what they're up to. I should imagine they're having some kind of mourning thing. I don't really know how well he was loved, really. I'll go there and react to the situation.
Yeah, as you go to Shidell, you realise there's a lot of anger, resentment, pain. The one warrior protected them that seemed to be the strongest among them is now Dead.
Down. Chester will set up one of his famous 2-minute stages.
Okie dokie.
You have been wronged in this. He hath vanished.
It's gone.
Eventually, a black hole had to happen with what we all know about him.
Yeah. Just a singularity event.
He did say he was just going to restart.
Ah, okay, I didn't see.
Do you want me to continue, or are we waiting for him?
Yeah, no, just go.
Just to take his hat off. Good people of Shiredale, we have all lost a good friend and mentor and leader on this fine day. But I am here to inform you that you should not sully good Macra's memory with ill-contented emotions. You should pick up whatever arms available to you, and you should take it to the beach and protect the shoreline as he once did. Rebuild in his memory. Continue to foster the great reputation that this fine district has afforded itself over the years.
As you peer out among the rubble, one man, a half-orc, does stand up and say, well, more people are just going to land and take over. What's the fucking point?
But if the many of you do what the one was currently endeavoring to do, you could stand here on this beach and act like rocks to the waves. If they set foot on your homeland, you will repel them, and nothing short of 1,000 years will erode you from your sight.
One person does, a half-elf, looks kind of a bit, rough around the edges. It's like, didn't you say this speech before? It's different words, but I'm pretty sure you said this one before. The last time. You can roll a performance check. You can roll a performance check, nevertheless.
I thought that was a pretty good speech for Chester, to be fair.
Yeah, but
It might be quite possibly something he said.
It was last time when other people... I can't remember what it was. You basically said the same thing. Oh, that is...
Actually?
Yeah, that is very...
grimsby.
Yeah, but it's still pretty damn high. You rolled a 2 and you got 22. Is
there something I get advantage for as well? Is that actor or?
Yeah, I guess it would be.
I do indeed get advantage.
Yeah, okay, so some of them do stand. You are getting a vibe, as you said, and people are beginning to stand up and go about their business, but it's going to take some days, I think.
Chester will hang around. He'll do some reparations.
Yeah.
He'll create he'll go to the place that they were drinking last night and organise like a little wake and get them all sloshed. And tell stories about how Macra grappled with beasts twice his size.
Okay, yeah. Fair enough.
And he'll paint him as a virtuous man and a good father.
Yes, of course.
All deception.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okie dokie, so...
Probably for a bugbear, he was quite a good father.
Wow.
I mean, he didn't eat his kids, so yeah.
I don't think they do that. I'm not sure if that's accurate.
No, I'm just playing into your over-exaggeration of how bugbears are.
Oh, not Adrian.
Mm.
Was he a full bugbear, Macro, or was he like a half boy?
Yeah, he's full bugbear.
Oh.
I don't think there is half bugbears.
Not as far as we know. But it's possible.
He might be a half elf. There's no way to tell below all that fur.
He's just
there could be anything under there.
Yeah, it's just a particularly hairy half elf. We've never known. That would be a funny twist in the plot. He just comes out the barbers and you're like, wait, what the fuck?
Just like, yeah, shaven nubile prince.
Not with that 8 charisma, I don't think so, but... Oh.
Hey,
Right.
Prince don't have to be charismatic.
Right, so I do believe that leaves you guys with like not much left have to do urgently.
No, I do think we should still visit the God King's son at least to figure out if he's evil or if we actually do have his back.
The other way around.
If he has our back when we, prevent the world from going under.
Alright, so
Would be an interesting meeting.
Oh yeah, he probably doesn't like Chester very much, to be fair. I mean, Elsif also killed his father, but, Elsif didn't write a book about it.
Yeah.
So I guess it does comes down to me and Owen going then, does it not?
You are also involved.
Probably for the best. I included an appendices on how his son was a little bitch in 301 ways.
Really, the only one we could send is our pretty boy, and I'm pretty sure everyone knows that we're all involved together.
Respect. Regardless of this, if we want to test what it's like, there's no better way than to antagonize him slightly little bit by sending someone who he dislikes to see if he will show clear signs of wanting to turn on us. Would you not say?
I think we should just all go together, and if he reacts with hostility, we just kill another king and hope the next one turns out fine. I think at some point in, the inheritance or ladder, someone's gonna be there that's not involved with the Yellow King.
Ignoring that, I agree with your idea. Let's go.
it's just like that. That's it. Today we visit the God King's son.
I will come to high level play where we have teleport.
Yep.
I did. I fucking did map that city. Yonks ago. Okay.
Who's going? We decided it's going to be Olwyn and Leros.
No, we decided it would be everyone. In case he decides to go hostile, might as well just finish it right then and there.
Fair enough.
Dress up nicely, Chester. I think he's gonna hate you the most.
I shall wear my finest Arculian threads.
Well, then the question is, does he hate him more or less if he's dressed up really fancy for the meeting?
Well, you should probably not wear anything he stole from the God King.
Like my robes.
Yeah, your robes are...
Yes.
Your robes are pretty bad. I don't think
I've
I'm
also
wearing
got
anything.
this. And Chester
I'll wear
holds out
something
a
over them.
support.
Just to get out of what, sorry?
No, I was just going to say Chester pulls out like a support the annexation movement badge or something and just pins it to his chest.
Alright, so
Just to appease him.
a little bit of a knowledge drop. The group does know that Mokhul, like Chester just mentioned, he said, I'm going to put on my finest Rokulian threads. Mokhul is the center of the Broken Empire. It was the second capital empire. It is the sister city to Nuneria, being that they have very similar cultures. It is well known for being near Poif, a monolith, said to be one of the grandest monoliths on the continent. Does anyone actually have the teleportation circle in Mokhul? It would teleportation and circle.
Quite possible, right? Mokhul, yes.
You do. All right, that's awesome.
On my list.
I will quickly add Mokhul as a handout. Great scene. Mokhul. So yeah, is there anything you guys want to do before you go to Mokhul? Arlo?
I will put on some different robes that are that will cover my current ones.
Okay.
And I'll go and buy them or acquisition some other way if need be.
Okay.
Elsa is gonna remove all the skulls from the half plate and, make it more formal looking again.
Good idea.
She's still gonna rock up in full armor.
That's got a grid, but... Okay, so those of you who've been to Rokal, Orwin, you've been to Rokal to get to the Circle. It is mostly a city on the water. A ancient basin fed by some underdark sea. It's mostly a collection of houses clustered around said flooded basin. And it's quite a religious city. Especially to the gods of the dead, Cyrus, Anubis. They've got temples dedicated to each. And its ancient leaders are entombed deep beneath the submerged basin. So you do have the teleportation circle to the Temple of Osiris, an open-air temple that you've been to many times before, that serves as a marketplace for the entire city when it's not used for worship. So if you want to teleport there, you can. Or if you want to go somewhere else in the city, no.
Don't know. You tell me, to be honest, because this is one of my original known circles I probably would have got from Grandia, so you tell me where it is.
Yeah, so the Temple of Osiris is the main one.
Probably somewhere near a market, I would have thought, considering that's what they were mostly used for at the time.
Yeah, so you can teleport to the Temple of Osiris, by the way. Oh my god. This is the one without all the goddamn notes on it. Oh well.
Yes. Good sir. While the map loads, we're going to have a quick break.
We'll be back in 5.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so Alwyn, I'm assuming you are doing the teleporting?
Yeah, makes sense too.
Alright, so after you all meet back up at Alwyn's store, pass through the horde of cats that defend it, and into the back room and then into the basement of the teleportation circle. You all appear immediately in blazing midday sun. The teleportation circle is in the open on what looks like the edge of the temple. So let me describe what the temple looks like. So what you have is these 4 sides to this temple. 2, where you can see, descend into this great green expanse of water. And you see there are dozens of boats crowding around it with awnings attached, and they're all lashed together like a big floating market around the base of the temple. This temple is made out of black stone, but there is green everywhere. Like wildlife grows up the sides. There's vines. There's like cactus growing. There's all kinds of like jungle wildlife here, like a little mini oasis. But you are currently maybe about 60 foot up on the platform on a teleportation circle, and you can see there's an awning, a red silk awning set up, and a man wearing a turban with an encrusted jewel in the centre, looks up at you all, looks tired, his great white eyebrows kind of like sag down the side of his face, framing his kind of gaunt cheeks and his big beard. And he looks at you, looks at each of you and goes, "And who might you be?" As he begins scraping out a book with a quill. And he looks you up and down, Alwyn. "Ah! It's you. I know who you are. Where's your father?"
He's on other business at the moment.
"Ah. Well, Alwyn. Welcome to Mokhul again. It's been some time."
Quite a while, in fact. We don't often see much business up here.
"Reason for entering the city? Is it trade?" "It's trade. It's always trade, right?"
Sure, of course.
Right, sum it down. "And the names of your servants?"
Associates. And I'll just gesture to let them talk.
You are? And he points towards Elzef.
Elzef of Sea's End.
Ooh, Sea's End. I guess the sea ends there. Yes?
Never heard that one before.
Yes, a dad joke.
Very, very clever.
So Sea's End. And your reason for visiting? The trade? It's always trade.
It is a trade of sorts, yes.
Sorts. Trade of sorts. I'll write that down beside your name. Ah.
Right.
This one needs no introduction. Begins writing Chester Decker. One moment, I'm just going to go get the guards. And he stands. Goes to leave.
Yes.
Good, sir.
He turns. And opens his palm.
Yes, right you are. Chester places some gold in there, up to and worth around. Can Chester gauge his means? He'll drop 15 gold and see if his eyebrows stay the same level.
They stay the same level.
So he places a single another gold piece in there, wiggles his own eyebrows.
Just stares at you. Okay,
Embarrassing us, Chester.
Mr. Gareth Bluetooth, who's here for trade. And he begins writing down.
It's always trade.
You're well known around here. If I were you, I would definitely hide. I mean, we're up here, high here. People are gonna see you. Not liked around here.
I don't
Chester
think
actually
that
does have, I
polymorph
think, a disguise
thing.
kit. No, he's got a disguise kit, so he'll whip out a mustache and a couple of and his own fake tan.
Wait, doesn't Chester already have a mustache on the character you've chosen?
Yeah, but he sticks another mustache on top of his mustache that is ginger.
So you can magically transform into anything you want to be, and instead you're putting on a fake mustache.
And not just a fake mustache, sir. My name is Gareth Bluetooth. I'm here for trade.
Embarrassing. we have fought a literal titan of the old world and brought him down, and you are here calling yourself Gareth Bluetooth, making a fake accent.
Do not listen to my associate.
Oh, this is hurting me.
The guy that you'll know as Arcpello, he's teleportation master Arcpello. When he does burst out laughing, he goes, your reputation does precede you, Chester. You are hilarious. I mean, they may not like you, but you are funny. And I do have one of your books. That one about Darth Gwendeth.
Classic.
It's a classic. So, and you, and he points towards Laneros. Elf! What are you here for?
Incorrect. My name is Laneros.
Hey, okay. Oh wait! The Laneros? The new...
I don't know. There's a Laneros?
The new king of Mokhul?
King? No.
What? That's what I heard.
Oh, you heard wrong.
That could be a stick, eh?
Well, I'll write you down. He holds his hand up. As Mr. Elfie McElfison.
My name is Laneros.
Fair enough. And he writes Laneros into the book. You know, I will have to alert the proper authorities.
That's who I'm here to see.
Oh, so it's not on trade, is it, Alwyn? You lied to old Arcpello.
He did not. I mentioned that I am here to see the authorities.
Oh, politician, this one. No wonder why you became the king of Mokhul.
And I'll just walk off.
Goodbye.
It has really gone downhill since he became king.
I imagine it has. It's quite dour. I bet he's restricted, I bet you're not allowed to drink anymore.
There hasn't been a proper fight in the Colosseum since he showed up at all.
What the fuck? Just had a duel to the death on the beach and now I'm playing for the
so Arcpello stands up. My son died in the arena. There's
Should have fought better.
I'm joking, just trying to make you feel awkward. Go on, get the fuck out of here.
That's obviously immune to feeling awkward. Everything she does is awkward.
It's true. So there are stone steps that lead down the side of this temple, down to the main base of it, and it's this flat kind of plateau. This parts that leads around this huge conical temple with an open roof. And as you walk down, there are wares being peddled. There are people trying to sell you goods, animals, slaves. And you do get an entourage, a group of what looks like old hound guards, from, the hound guards still exist in Mokhul, well, kind of do. Now these people are wearing yellow kind of mantles and golden turbans, and they do kind of walk beside you, Laneros, and one guy begins to speak. I'd have you stop, Laneros. And we'd have chat. Talk.
I'll stop.
And it's at that moment that most of you do realise there are quite a lot of guards here. Obviously a lot of hound guards that left with the Blood Emperor here.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, yeah, I hear word that you are here, and that means you want to chat with a lord.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
Now, Ottawa and Anway, and you remember that name because they're the mothers of Manarch Bastov.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They're currently in attendance with our Blood Emperor. But, if you would follow me, we will lead you to the palace where you... looks around and looks at the others. You're not going to roll a perception check to see if they notice Chester. They don't. They don't. They just ignore Chester.
Harold
What a
Bluetooth
lovely
to you.
bride, Sydney.
What?
Please do go. How's that?
Oh, I said it's Harold Bluetooth to you. I was just kidding.
Gareth.
It doesn't matter what his fake name is.
Okay. What are the rest of you doing? Are you going with Laniros? These like
I think the plan is to kill the guy if negotiations fail, so we should all go together.
Okay.
Seems reasonable.
So what you're led onto these massively wide roads that are built on these platforms that come out of the basin on the shallow parts, and these are flat wooden planks that seem to be made out of some sort of like varnished wood, and they're so wide that carts travel up and down them. Like you can have 4 carts abreast here, and houses and stalls that are situated here, kind of built on stilts in the water, reminding you very much of a more polished Port Phobos. And people go about their business here, and the place is quite shady here because of the massive amount of awnings. And when you reach the far sides of this road that goes on for maybe 200 meters, it veers to the left, where there are maybe three or 4 dozen inquisitors. These are the people you haven't seen in some time, wearing their animal masks by the Great Palace's entrance. And as you walk up to it, Alwyn, you notice that the palace itself is a monolith. It's got these runes carved all along it, and they glow with magic, and there is an aura around it. It looks like a miasma, kind of like everywhere within about maybe a 30-foot radius around the entire building. And the building is huge. Like these 4 pillars, central pillars, kind of like rise up and lean in to support a central pyramid. As you walk towards it, the massive entrance with no doors has like wards of protection all around the top.
What kind of wards of protection?
It looks like wards to keep away like teleportation into it, stuff like that. You know, basically a forbidden spell, but permanent.
Yep. Not walk through the door and you'll explode.
No, yeah, you walk through the door, disintegrate. Alright, so sci-fi campaign?
Carry on.
Yeah, so as you walk towards into the shade, the coolness of this palace, the difference between the Moonlit Shield and this is vast. This is like complete dark kind of grey stone, and the depictions on the walls are like ancient compared to the ones in the Moonlit Shield. And you just have this constant coolness and sense of like being surrounded by water, and there are channels built into the wall which are transparent glass, and you can see fishes. It's like a huge aquarium, and tunnels dug throughout the entire monolith. As you are brought into a waiting room, a undying light above you lights the room kind of in this cool green colour, and you are served refreshments out of copper pitchers, like honeyed wines, watered down wines and stuff like that, and left some food like grapes, figs. And it only takes about 30 minutes before the guard returns and says, Laniros, the Blood Emperor will see you now, and your associates if they wish.
If they are allowed to sit and listen, that would be appreciated.
Follow
Very
me.
well.
As you are led up some stairs, like a, I wouldn't say spiral staircase. It is, but it's like very angular. It goes completely all the way up to the top, and into a top room. You see that you are on the solar of this monolith, and it has these windows all around the top that let in all the light, and it just reflects off of the kind of like light grey marble here, lighting the entire thing up. In the centre is a circular desk made out of stone. On that desk you can see maps, pictures, images made out of magic float there, and you see there are maps of like Mokhul, the continent of the world, You also see as you approach that one mage who's being dismissed is just dismissing an illusion of looks like to the cosmos, like stars, planets, and stuff like that. And as you approach, you see the familiar form, those of you who are from Mokhul, of the Blood Emperor, or Hakal Al-Fadil, God King's firstborn son, born of the Methuselah. His long black hair is tied up into a loose ponytail. It's got greys at the sides. He's got a salt and pepper beard that comes down to his chest. He's wearing jade breastplate with jade pauldrons and a long blood red cloak. It's wrapped up around his pauldrons to form some sort of mantle. And as you walk, he's got that kind of sunken look of stress. And he says, "That will do right there. Do not come any closer." And he leaves you about 30 foot away on the other side of the desk. And he indicates the stone seats to sit. And you see that the familiar elvish forms of Atwa and Enway, the God King's, now I guess ex-wife? Widows, sit at seats beside him. A seat for his wife, which you guys know are dead because you killed her, of a Lady Greenridge, lays empty. A very beautiful female human sits to his right. She has a purple gem stone embedded in her forehead, to the point when you look even closer, not like glued there, it's like embedded. You can see the flesh has grown around the edges of it. She has white hair that flows wisp-like down her. She has these robes on that are white with yellow trim, and there's just a sense of magic about her. And Alwyn, with your detect magic sight, you can see she's wielding quite a lot of magical items: a ring, a pair of braces, the gemstone in her forehead. You can also see that she's got a collection of and necklaces that seem to be glowing with magic evocation. She introduces herself. "I am the Lady of Mokhul." And Blood Emperor then says, "State what you came here for, please. Daenerys, I have a confusion about what to do."
Do tell.
For you, allies, I know that some of them aren't with you. Stares at Elza, stares at you. Killed my father. And
Didn't even put a hand on it.
in the 6 weeks since it's happened, stuff has come to light of what he had been doing. What he had been doing in the century leading up to his ascension. I am not blind to it. I know why you did what you did. His communications with this hand rises to point at the ceiling. This yellow star.
Okay.
So you've come here. What? Ally with me?
Well, we were hoping that was already the case. We simply need to see where we are. This is not for our own benefit, this is for the benefit of the world, and we stand to defend it, and we must know where we stand if we are to do so appropriately. Thus we must know where you stand. For if you do not stand with us, then we must take that into account in the upcoming battle. As we fight a battle for all our survivals, whether or not individual squabbles in politics would normally force us to be on different sides of a conflict, perhaps. That is not what this is about. This is about the survival of our planet. This is about the survival of all the inhabitants. If that's not worth uniting for, then I don't know what.
I have had, well, a change of heart when news reached my ears that a week ago You and your friends saved many lives of my soldiers. Although you were unable to save Nadina's life, saved many of my men and helped them retreat. Against those filthy Naldrakians, Westerlings. They still pillage very close to the Nerian border. I am helping, hopefully, to push them out. I know that you fight for the world, but sometimes I need to do stuff for the little people here, people that need safety. The Fibo and Valley lands are littered with them. Raiding bands. They have no leader anymore. They've split up into raiding bands. I'm dealing with them, but it's going to take some...
Yeah.
What? Sorry?
He's on another plane, I forgot.
Yeah, we're fucking plane shifted it. Yeah, when the scary tyrant leader disappears, they're just like, alright, have some fun.
I wonder how my little raider is doing.
Oh yeah, you fought Eric. Sorry. The only one that I would have qualms with is Chester, but I see he has come with you.
He is a foul break.
What?
I don't even say anything yet.
I fear that if he had done the deed, slew my father for the deed he had committed, then I would be willing to maybe perchance forgive the man. But then he writes falsehoods, these novels to earn money. He's pure greed. Some of it is outright lies and slander.
You are 100% correct about this.
Even the ones about
That's not being too hasty.
Who is this?
I think he's a pretty talented.
Who are you?
My name is Gareth. It's Bluetooth. I am here for tried.
Can you roll a deception check?
Yes, indeed.
Also, was just standing there. This is fast. This is not.
I genuinely thought that she would see through it pretty much immediately. Did that go through?
Yeah, you got a 37. Yeah.
How did you Gareth?
Like spices and wool.
So, what is your suggestion? Did you wish to make allies of me in the coming battle? Then yes, you have my help.
I just came to make sure that was the case. As mentioned, I don't hold it against anyone personally if they wish to pursue other matters, but they must understand that if they do, they are thereby increasing the chances of all of us perishing in the upcoming fights.
I was already making plans. At least attempt to avert tragedy. You see, the Console of Thoth, the Prime of Light, Eternal Man, lives in Poif's Monolith. He says that the monolith goes to the heavens. We are doing research in that. We believe that it will allow us to traverse from this plane to the stars. If we can stop the thing even landing, we will.
Oh, this is a much better plan than anything we had.
You had not made plans like this? What was your plan? You tell me.
Oh, it was going to crash down and then we'd kill it.
Oh, so you were going to let it land and then kill it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yours is much better.
Elsif,
by the way, I put forward the plan for the remerger. You're welcome.
What remerger?
Of your New Neria and your empire.
But has not yet reached.
Oh. That's... But...
Yeah, because, like, I'll be honest with you, you did it, and then just left it. Like, what did you... No one sent messages, no one teleported away, so it was just going to travel by word of mouth!
Well, then let me be the first to congratulate you. Nuria is yours again. The council has voted on it and surrendered to you.
I don't want it.
We don't want it either. Someone has to have it.
I hear it is a ruin.
It's not everything is a ruin. You know, you can rebuild it stronger. Look, it's... Okay, that's fair.
Maybe once the war is over, I will help. But it is... I do not have the means. I do not have the money, and I do not have the means to rebuild a city yet.
Oh no, we perfectly understand.
I mean,
Just, if you want it, it's up for grabs.
I want the orbital cannon.
That one works! We saw it work!
Oh. Why did it work? What? Who did it shoot at? He's like so confused. He just...
have you not asked the word about the Tarask not reached you?
A Tarask. Okay, no, word is only...
Maybe we should, like, send someone from Mokhul here so he can catch you up on everything that happened to Mokhul.
Agreed. Please. Keep going. He's like, this is all news to him.
There was, what is she? An old Netherese princess?
That is the last thing I've heard.
Oh yeah, she came with the Tarask.
I have not heard about Tarask, but I have heard about the Archmage.
Oh yeah, she attacked and, dropped meteors, leveled the city, and then the Tarask came in.
This is why I can't put resources into this, and you see Utway and Onway nodding, like, agreeing. We'll take the city back, but we'll take it when we can. And this is weird, because the twins say this at the exact same time. You don't know who to look at.
No, that is alright. I mean, we perfectly understand why you wouldn't want it right now. But the good news is the fleet that was going to attack the city didn't attack the city, it left.
Nods. Good. So we should pull resources then and attempt to stop this. Perhaps access to Poif would be a start.
We would love to go there and have a look at it.
The Consul of Foth will no doubt be amenable to your arrival. We'll let him know. The Undying Lady of Rokal stands. And I will have a word with him. And she lets out a smile. When she smiles, you see she's got a wicked set of fangs. Pearly whites.
That's, if you're a lich, you gotta have good dental care.
She doesn't look like a lich. She's not rotten, she's not grey-skinned. She looks pale, obviously. But...
Who doesn't? I would love to know her, healthcare secrets. Her skincare routine.
You ask?
Not right now. But, if we're pooling resources together eventually.
Okay, so he does say, now that I know you are here, and not here for any nefarious purpose, are welcome in Rokal. Welcome, City of the Dead.
Chester is an associate of ours, and he is powerful, and we will need him to fight that thing. So if you could, remove the bounty until it is over, we would be most grateful.
He looks at you. Bounty? I have not put bounty on his...
Oh, not at all. So Chester could just go here as well, yeah? No problem.
Said I'm fond of him.
Oh, no, that's great.
I'll be honest. I know what my father did was wrong. I didn't know, by the way, before we continue, I didn't know anything about that. I don't know if my mother did. All I know is that some of his actions that come out now have been completely detrimental to the safety of our people. Like, he used the Empire as a means, not as a way to protect them. So, I understand why you, and he looks at Laneros and now, did what you did. My father lived long enough.
I appreciate you saying that. It was not our intention to rob someone of their father, but as you mentioned, he was in a position where he had lots of power to negatively influence the lives of others, and that had to be stopped.
And we are completely on the same page regarding the books. None of us come off well in them. None of us. And the only reason we aren't out to kill him ourselves is because the characters in those books are unrecognizable and don't relate in any way to us. So... But obviously, your father is named, so I understand why you wouldn't.
Well, let's be honest, Elzef of Sea's End. I have only ever met you in those books. In those books, you do come off as a bit of a tyrant.
That is completely inaccurate.
You also said that you were... Well... If he were here now, and he just looked at Gareth... I would say that Chester should apologise for his words, and then all can be.
As he's talking, Chester's just writing in a notebook like furiously. Oh, lucky he's not here.
Yeah, luckily.
So that's after all that. I love that the party looks towards Chester like, come on, and he's like, what?
He's just like furiously scribbling his next book.
Brilliant.
Well, we'll be in the city then, awaiting notice of when we can go to the Monolith.
Of course. We shall arrange it for a day. You all need to be able to teleport. The Lady of Rokor waves it away. I will take you. Easy.
Creeps. Yes, wonderful.
She gives you the creep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, look, everyone involved with this guy, he seems like a great guy. Everyone involved with him seems to turn out to be, a yellow princess or whatever.
Yeah, he didn't know about Lady Greenridge. That's not his fault.
Just has no luck with women in his life.
Yeah. And so you are escorted out of the palace and back to the gates, where the guard then says, the Lady of Rokul wishes you to be here tomorrow, perhaps around midday at Market Hour. Enjoy your stay in Rokul. But you don't ever, as you are walking down the road here, you don't ever feel like you're losing sight of some Inquisitor or guard or somebody that's just keeping an eye. Maybe it's Anway and Otwar Enway that just don't trust you, or maybe it's the Undying Lady, but
I didn't think it would go this well.
Why not?
It just never goes well for us. So this is just...
What do you mean never goes well for us?
Whenever we meet someone powerful, it always, goes badly. Can you remember a single powerful person we've met that we had a good time with?
You know what's the difference here? I'll just glance over at Chester and say that. You know what the difference was? Chester didn't speak as Chester this time.
Maybe Gareth Bluetooth should be a permanent party member.
You see that? There are some serious, just trying to make Chester feel a bit awkward.
Chester just kind of looks up for one moment and sort of puts his quill in his mouth. What's the word I'm looking for? Impotent, yes. He carries on writing.
You cannot publish that book until after this is all over, Chester. He already hates you.
You mean Gareth?
You mean Gareth? It's just crap. killing me. What do you mean, Gareth?
Fucking Gareth.
Unbelievable.
Okay, so for the afternoon, what is the plan? You've got like basically like 8 hours spare in Mokhul.
I'll go memorize the teleportation circle.
Alright, you go do that.
The city probably has a not destroyed spa.
Would you like to go look for a spa?
Else of course looking for a spa.
Alright, so somewhere along the southern road leading to the Great Pyramid here, which is capped with a basically huge gold cone, you reach a building and you just look up, and in Common, Elvish and Dwarvish, the runes for public baths and private spa painted across the top. We're actually, it's so common, like public, like bathing here is so common, they've got a huge building dedicated to it right there.
I'm home.
Yeah, and as you walk in, it is an Elvish establishment owned by what looks like some high elves, and as you walk in,
oh, the good elves, good.
Immediately a short-haired, he's kind of like albino-looking elf. He looks down at you and looks you up and goes, "Would the madame like a private room?"
Yes. For the next 8 hours.
Hours? Love hotel then. Scribbling down.
No, I don't want anyone else to be there.
Oh, okay. So why would you not stay overnight?
I thought that was implied.
Well, he looks up at the sun and goes, 8 hours would make it roughly midnight?
Okay, just, make it the night then.
Of course, madame. That would cost you 150 gold.
Sure.
He looks surprised. Okay. Takes the money from you. And then leads you to a very grand public bathing area with sides, kind of like pools. Built into the basin itself, the water flows in, is heated. It's just this whole experience here with servants that walk around giving massages and just basically treating people to food, wine. It's just a good experience here. Is anyone else staying in this expensive establishment?
I don't think the establishment's that expensive.
I think would have actually gone the same way.
Oh, nice. And Laniris?
I'll have a look around to see what's there, and if that's the actual price.
They have cheaper. Like
no. What I'm saying is, I'm expecting that else got ripped off.
Oh yeah.
But she doesn't care because she's rich.
Yeah, and you all realise that by the end of that, she literally has the best room in the place. It's.
Well, now I don't want to go there.
It's got. So your room is one of those. You know those things you see on the internet, the kind of like underwater rooms. Yeah, you've got one of those that you can just see all throughout, left and right, up. You're submerged by about 3 or 4 meters.
Just like the Netherlands.
I seem to recall in the recent flooding, Germany was hit a lot harder than we were, so I don't know.
Alright, let's not... So, like Alwyn, you said you were going here as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, so a good basically, a noble stay here is 50 gold.
Yeah, that'll do. If I think it's reasonable for what I'm getting.
Oh, it is completely reasonable. You've paid more for, like, Bretonian, like, noble living, farther. And this place it's beautiful. It's, like I say, it's like you're bathing in, like, a natural, like, hot spring surrounded by wildlife. And there are, like, luxurious coloured birds in the trees, stuff like that. And yeah, the Neros, it costs you the same. You're going for it, 50 gold pieces.
What am I getting for 50 apart from a nicer room?
Like I said, it's basically the extent of the entire thing. Not to mention the all-you-can-eat buffet.
Well, I was just decidedly uninterested in that.
He's not into. I knew Lanero's had like a screw loose if he's not interested in a buffet.
He's not interested in paying lots for extra for that.
Oh my god.
You create diamonds every day out of thin air.
He'll just pop a mansion.
Yeah.
And have his feast in there.
That's fair enough. And Chester?
We'll look for probably a mid to low range establishment, I can imagine.
You're not going to the baths.
Like, he's really into the role of Gareth. And he feels like he's a man of humble means.
Dumbest thing.
Okay.
As a so good of an actor, he has deceived himself.
He's a method actor.
Yeah, right. So, you find on the mainland, on the sandy part of the city, you do find a modest establishment for a room for about 5 gold pieces. There's food, breakfast, everything.
And that will do.
Alright, and I'm assuming you will stay the night then?
I think we're a little bit of knick-knack shopping, but apart from that, that'll be it.
Knick-knack shopping?
You might just, perhaps peruse the markets.
Yeah, this market is more to do with goods, materials, food. You do get like a bit of a drow presence around the marketplace, like near the evening time. You notice, so you're looking around. There's quite a bit of drow selling like meats from the Underdark and precious materials and stuff like that, and gemstones and wicked-looking weapons and creatures in like baskets that they've captured. And you see that they all wear what look like some sort of like underwater armor, like fins attached to it and stuff like that.
Wet market.
Yeah.
Chester will effectively peruse. If there's anything he sees that is good, then he will purchase. And if not, don't worry.
One of the drows does kind of like call you over. He's like, hey you. Hey.
Oh.
Can I interest you in a pet?
What kind of pet would suit Gareth?
He just... What about this? He holds up a cage with this, it looks like a creature. It's got some antennae. It's kind of got an orangey colour to it. Little chattering teeth. It's got about 6 legs, and it's got a shell along the top. He goes, make a good pet, they do.
Has it had any diseases?
No. Or can I introduce you in some mushrooms? And he just brings out a massive collection of mushrooms.
Oh, Gareth does like to party.
It's Super Mario now.
he's experimenting. I'll take some of the mushrooms.
Yeah, gold piece each.
I'll take 4. And he just kind of like goes over a mental list. Laneros and Alvin and Seth. And Maisie probably want to get fucked up too. I'll take 5.
Yep. Throws them all in for 4 gold pieces.
Thanks, good sir. You can keep the scrangy muck thing.
Has it round? It's a rust monster.
Actually, how much?
25.
Yes, I'll take. Thank you.
You gonna take it?
Yep.
Yep. He hands you over a rust monster in a cage.
Thank you.
In a cage?
It's a wooden cage. I already said that. Yeah. He goes, hey, remember, you have to feed it metal.
Up to us, sir. Thank you. Chester will, if you can get anywhere even remotely to the official place they had earlier, just release it into like a pipe or something nearby.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Teach you to say my books are shit.
Oh, that's brilliant. Okay,
if you can get anywhere near the Blood Emperor's bedroom, he'd do it, but...
Alright, does anyone else want to buy anything, do anything before we... Does Alwyn and Laniris want to do their old diamond trick before they go to bed?
Absolutely.
Of course.
Alright, let's get to it. See if the simulacrum blows up.
Oh, got two diamonds.
Oh wait, so it can no longer cast Wish again. Then.
Yeah.
Don't you have to roll con save for the first one anyway, just to see if it...
Yes, but because it's a fresh day and everything, he's got enough sorcery points to just be able to push up to be able to cast it.
Alright, now you're going to discard of this simulacrum like a sock with holes in.
Yes and no. I mean, I'll keep him around because obviously he's still useful until a new one is cast tomorrow, just in case some shit goes down.
Now that he's cast this, doesn't he have like 2 strength and take damage from casting spells and stuff?
Yeah, but he's not me, so I don't care. Also, he's a sorcerer, he doesn't need strength.
Yeah, he will take like a d10 necrotic damage from a level he casts, though.
Yeah.
Alright, just note that down that he's currently in that stage of Wish.
Yeah, I'll just put him at like 6 exhaustion or something, just so we know that he's fucked, just as a reminder.
Okie dokie. Laniros?
Well, for me it just happens once, right? So I don't need to roll anything. There's no way for me to get him to cast it more than once, because he's used up a spell slot.
Oh, yeah, that's fair. Yeah, that's true.
Well, there's no point for me, and I don't like keeping my simulacrum around. I'm using it purely for this, so as soon as it's done, I'm just...
Why?
You serve
Father!
It's like creepy-o, Jesus. Yeah, okay, yeah. So, yep, you do it. And you can add another diamond to the list.
It's going pretty quickly like this.
I think this is one of the quests technically left, isn't it? Census.
Mm-hmm. So it's 2 from you and 1 from me. Okay.
Now we're going to the old man in the mountain who's gonna explain the whole plot to us. Finally, we've made it this far.
This is a get-rich-quick scheme, literally, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, I know it is.
It's pretty insane.
But that's what happens when you're this level, right? I mean, there's nothing...
Yeah. It also feels more like a chore at this point, like, oh, I'm just creating 500k worth of money and it's taking so long.
Yeah.
It's like you're sitting there watching the money print and you're like, nope, that's still not enough for the house, still not enough, come on.
Oh god, yeah. Alright, so you can all click a long rest if you're spending the night. Those of you who paid for the expensive public and private baths, can you roll me 5d10?
Take that much poison damage?
No. You gained that much temporary hit points?
Nice.
Is the spa so good, yeah?
Yep.
Yeah, I got more because my room was nicer.
You did get, 100 gold piece room for 150 gold. You don't care about. Okay, so as you wake up in the morning, that's another tick down, 37 days. You guys meet back up at the palace, I'm assuming. Or is there anything you want to do here before we move on?
That's for me.
Okay, so you meet the Undying Lady. Immediately, I wish you good morning.
Good morning.
I haven't slept in some centuries. Must feel good.
It's different for all of us, I suppose.
Huh? Well, if you'd follow me, you can head to Poif now.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
Very well.
Where's our friend Bluetooth?
Right here, sorry I'm late. You didn't have any trouble with Rust, monster, I hope, in the evening. We're alright around here.
She does turn to you. You'd find one, yes. Managed to munch its way through an entire bathtub.
Oh no.
Quite significant damage, eh, Gareth?
Oh no. You might want to get that little pest problem sorted out.
I did. It's off with no word. She leads you into a teleportation room. It's got circles and several different kind of raised stone platforms for different teleportation circles. And those of you who can cast teleportation will realise that it is like nearly 6 different circles, but all in the same room. And she walks up to one of them and inspects them, and she goes, "Oh, this one." Moves to another. This one. It all come closer. Oh, don't be shy. Closer. And the closer you do get to her, the more she begins to smell like a crypt. Unmistakable. It's beginning to remind you of that tunnel that you went through in Ruin, where you ended up where Gwandia ended up finding where you ended up finding Gwandia. You end up fighting that lich beforehand. It just reminds you, she's got that same sort of scent. As you walk up to her, she begins casting the spell, and that gemstone on her forehead begins like emitting like a wave of magic, Orwin. And I'm assuming you all accept it and go through the teleportation circle.
Mm-hmm.
Right, let's get you to the map. So you are travelling from Mokhul to Poif.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so when you land at Poif, you are a teleportation circle in a dark room. It's barely lit, and the first thing you hear is the sound of waves. And as you walk out, you're on the coast. It's sparsely populated. There are about maybe a dozen houses. They all look to be fishermen houses. But the thing that dominates the coastline here is a huge lighthouse. It's like cylindrical at the base, and the cylinders get smaller and smaller, as if they've been stacked up on top of one another. And as you just look up and up and up, it goes from maybe 1,000 feet to the sky. And the cliff edge around it seems to be made out of the same material, straight and carved, as if some god had just carved it cleanly with disintegration spells. It's all angular. There's no weathering, no nothing, and the entire side is just smooth, like marble-like stone. The lighthouse itself has hundreds, maybe even thousands of lights on it. Like, just you can see fires burning in alcoves all the way up. And the undying lady says, "Unless you have some magic that will take us up quicker, prepare your fires to begin to burn. You are not dead." And she begins to walk off towards the stairs.
I'll cast Fly.
Enough?
Yeah, also casts Fly.
As my signature spell, so no slot used.
Elsif also casts Fly on Macra is not even there anymore. I guess Chester also gets Fly.
Okay. The moment she sees you doing this, she waves a hand, and you see her boots grow little wings.
It's been polite.
you do see there are doors that lead into this massive lighthouse. It's got an interior, but it seems that most of the activity is on the outside. You see, as you're flying, Owen, are you walking or?
No, we'll fly.
Huh?
These precious spell slots.
Okay, so it takes a good, like, maybe 5 minutes to fly up to where the Undying Lady is taking you to. It's not to the top, maybe about 100 foot from the top, where the diameter of the circle stacked is maybe about 40 feet here, instead of like the base, which was like 500 feet. And once you reach here, there's a large kind of curved door, and she leads you in, and there's a wide, empty room mostly, except for a table and a bed in the far corner. And sitting at the table is a bald man. He's got a set of white robes, and you see that they're the same white robes that you've seen on the people all up and down this monolith. And he stands as he sees you come in, and he is the most nondescript human male I can explain. An old man, probably in his 70s, and he puts his book, and Laneros and Orwin, who have been around books their entire life, note the respect he has for it, the way he places it, and the neatness and the orderly attitude he has around his desk. And he turns and bows to the Undying Lady. She just points to him with one. This is the Consul of Thoth, Prime of Light, Lord of the Monolith. I shall leave you in his presence. He just kind of backs off, and as you're following her, and then you turn to him, and then turn back, she's gone. She just seems to have vanished. She only moved about 50 feet.
I don't know how to feel about that woman.
Good day.
Bows again.
Should we sit?
He nods.
Stand?
There are no other chairs, but he just indicates the kind of rug on the floor.
Very well. I'll sit on the floor. Cross-legged.
And he sits on cushion, cross-legged. He's still not saying anything.
Yeah, I'm trying to gauge this guy and see.
Like I said, the most nondescript old human male. Other than
what does Elsef know about the Consul of Thoth?
He can make a history check. He's rumoured that to be one of the first Asgardians on the planet. Said to have helped separate the elements and the souls alongside the gods in Ragnarok. However, you also knew someone else like that as well. Well, actually, only Chester did, the rest of the group did. The Seer. He just doesn't say anything. He's still just staring at you guys.
Dark Soul, any opinion on this guy?
Not really.
Good talk. Mr. How should we refer to you?
Don't respond.
I am Elsef. These are my companions, Laneros, Owen, and Gareth.
Hello.
Mm-hmm. He doesn't say anything, he just nods.
We would like to go to the stars and fight the thing.
Get no read from this guy. You get nothing.
Okay. Oh, Laneros, you're the diplomat. You talk to this guy.
Very good. Sir, we're here looking for a way to perhaps expand on the plan of the King of Rokul. He wishes to fight the oncoming threat in the sky rather than when it lands, and hoping that you could somehow provide us with knowledge that might assist us in this matter. Is that the case?
He nods.
What should we do to have you provide us with this knowledge?
Places 2 fingers to his forehead. And just lowers his hands back down to his knees. Oh yeah, and Orwin, with your tech match stuff, nothing. Nothing on him.
Pisses me off.
Is there a different way that we should speak to you? Perhaps in a different language? But you seem to understand us, so you nodded and said that you would assist us with this knowledge. If you do not provide us with a way that you wish to do this, then perhaps let me say, please proceed in doing so.
Places the 2 fingers to his forehead. And then, as he waves his hand like that, he just seems to create like dozens of runes at a time, as if he's forming like a verse with like in the middle, and he just glittering white light runes. And as it forms, it just says, "I have taken a vow of silence, never spoken, the day that I separated the world soul. You wish to speak to me, telepathy is."
Oh.
I thought that you would have figured that out by now. That elf keeps incessantly chattering.
Okay. Then I also think a moment. He will go to a bit of an extreme, but he feels it's probably a good option. He will use his 9th level slot to cast Wish to
No way.
cast Rary's telepathic bond to link everyone.
Perfect. Alright.
Except Jester. Sorry, but...
Oh no! Alright, so yeah,
the risk is too great.
Alright, so you link everyone, and when he feels the spell take hold, his voice is monotone. Greetings.
Good day, sir. I appreciate your vow, and sorry for not coming to that conclusion sooner. Can we speak freely now?
It is what it is. Speak.
Very well. We would be very grateful for any knowledge that you could help us with in this matter, as we believe it needs to be investigated thoroughly to see if it will lead to a better chance of survival for this world.
What do you have here? Stairway, heavens. This hour leads you there. But if you have no way to breathe in the void, die very quickly.
No, that is no problem. Everyone here, as long as they're with me, can breathe in space.
Nods. There is a temple. Stars. Once belonged.
Temple? Sorry, do proceed.
Once belonged a void queen. Floats until it struck our moon. Fitting, he was once god of the moon. What's left there, where he will go to. This yellow star. Stop there. Predicted it, know it. Wish to intercept it there, fight it there. Be on you. I can lead you there.
Is there any benefit to us going to this temple early?
He shakes his head. I do not know what waits you there.
We should probably go early and clean it out in case there's any other dangers there.
That depends. Perhaps if the dangers are not just dangerous to us, but also to them, beneficial to leave them.
We'd have to figure that out, though.
Indeed.
Okay, this is unrelated to the whole saving the world thing. Isn't speaking in telepathic bond breaking your vow of silence as well?
There's a slight smile. Like the first time you've managed to see it, he goes, there are ways to break the rules. I can't spend 1,000 years not breaking some.
No, I get it. I was just,
I didn't take a vow of chastity.
I didn't ask. I honestly did not ask.
I know.
I'm so glad that Chester's loving this conversation right now. Sorry, Todd, but...
Elsef just leans to Chester and whispers over, this old as fuck dude is still getting it on.
Well, guilty.
Congratulations, Arthur. It's just gone into the novel now.
And he has his eyes on you, Chester.
I can still listen. I still know what you said.
But you can't correct it, can you?
Yeah, he sighs.
I do apologize for my friend's behavior. So, let me ask another question then, as it seems that your knowledge is greatly valued, but also incomplete on this matter. Are there any other things that you've seen in your predictions about this upcoming fight? Things that relate to what is going to pass?
If you are to fight on Midgard, there will be great loss. You will have many allies at your side. It would be a safer fight. Be easier. May win. You have more chance of winning. Have more chance of more people dying. You take it to the stars. Get away from Midgard. Fight it on your own. Without your allies. Possibly win. Save us all. Deaths in the process.
Yet risk the annihilation of the planet if we fail.
He will not land here straight away. It will land sky. Likes to convert, swayed, corrupt. Thoughts of this world will begin to slowly descend into madness. Won't land where you predicted straight away. They say in the stars that there are 37 days left for it here, but it will reach here far sooner. Wait. It's madness to work for.
How many days do we have till it gets to the Star Temple? Shit, that's a lot less days. Oh, wow. How do you know all this stuff?
I'm level 30 and I've got enlightened way.
Nice.
Yeah, he's got like he's probably the only enlightened fist in the entire. You can tell, very powerful. Not in a magical item sort of way. So his like body seems to be the weapon.
And do you want to come along fight it as well, or?
An interesting question. One that I would ponder. I could. If I am to leave here, I will lose a lot of power. He indicates the monolith, not like as in Midgard.
This seems a bit selfish.
I think the point is more the ability to fight is stronger here than elsewhere, correct?
It is.
Mm-hmm.
It's been some time. Beginning, I was someone different.
Oh, you came here waging a war, didn't you?
I gave up my original body to become someone different. I believe you call it Avatar?
Ah. Oh yes, we've met avatars.
Who I was has been time.
Okay.
Is there anything else you wish to share with us before we take our leave?
It's like he just... It's really hard to understand him. It's like he's helping you, but he just doesn't uphold it much. To be...
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, you gotta... You know, that mysterious area you gotta figure out on your own.
Yeah, profits. Fucking. A glass of wine, perhaps, if not words.
Indicates the bare room around him. I do not partake in wine.
You mentioned you would like to break the rules every now and then, and just figured I'd offer. Very well.
A slight grin.
So you know a lot of things due to your enlightened thing of going on, yeah?
Sire, but he does say yes.
The people from the south that we gave the weird dream contraption.
Oh, of what?
Okay, so you don't know everything. That's reassuring.
Eyes narrowed. Now you've intrigued him.
Elsif just quickly gives him a rundown of what happened there. I was just wondering if you are omnipotent or anything like that. I could ask you if we should still be worried about that, because we kind of solved it in, you know, a really makeshift way.
With no king in yellow, there is no...
Also, if we kill the guy, we don't have to be worried about the machine at all.
I have corrupted brother, though. Will, at long last, rear his ugly head. Remember him vaguely, missing a hand, sacrificed him, corrupted by.
Do we know anyone who is missing a hand?
Back now?
Okay.
Yeah, so aside from that.
Yeah, well, I don't think it's any NPC we know, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, so he mentioned he's like an avatar of the old gods, and he can't remember who. Then he mentions a brother, and you guys, when you saw a vision from Archmage Melagos, remember the ghost? You saw the Asgardians fleeing their original home, and Tyr sacrificed himself to
yeah.
to try and fight off the King in Yellow while everyone fled.
Oh, he means an actual god. Oh, so Tyr, yeah. Is he hanging out in the temple in the sky?
I think so.
So we can't kill him ahead of time.
Nods, and then he begins to stand. Because when you are ready, I will take you to the top. You must be ready.
That's him.
It's like that's like a serious you must be ready from the DM, like seriously you must be ready.
Yeah, it's like you know, you have to do all the side quests before you go fight the final boss. Because it's going to affect the cutscene you get at the end.
Yeah, do you want to continue, Box?
So, you are more than willing to take the teleportation circle here. With?
Yeah, if we have a moment, then I'll indeed memorize it.
Yep, it's the one at the base, so you've got to fly all the way back down. And then take it.
Fine.
Yeah. Or you could have taken it before you went up, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Either or, you and Orwin can both get the teleportation circle.
Cool.
And I believe I'm going to end the session there. Just as you guys have met Console of Thoth, the Prime of Light. And we'll leave it there until you can decide what you're going to do for your downtime and stuff like that, or if you're going to wait or go straight away for next week. And we'll leave it for there.